Central Christian Lady Comets versus Lucas Lady Cubs.
The Comets try to strike today inside of the Cub Cave, where Lucas awaits Central Christian for a matinee edition of Girls High School Hoops, coming up live and free exclusively right here on the OH Report. It's the Cubs and Comets in a Mid-Buckeye clash, coming your way next.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. Get online with essential digital marketing services for local businesses. And feel like they do. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Stop in the Cub Cave Carryout in Lucas. Conveniently stocked with everything you need, and even a one-stop pet shop. Located on Ohio 39 in the heart of Lucas, proudly supporting Cubs. Live and free high school hoops on a Saturday afternoon brings us to one of the great small towns in all of the Buckeye State, Lucas, Ohio, where the Lady Cubs will look to knock off visiting Kidron Central Christian for a second time this season, and it all begins right now. Good afternoon, folks, and welcome inside of the Cub Cave. My name is Brian Skronsky, joined by the one, the only, the fabulous Jesse Ryder, and we're talking about some mid-Buckeye rivals, very familiar with one another. Second meeting this season too, Jesse, so there's no secrets. They know what one another want to do.
Absolutely. Well, there's not a lot better than conference basketball because every game means something. So whether you're playing the top team, the middle of the road, or the bottom team, you have to win. You want to win those conference games. You want to get the best place you can get. And so we've got a meaningful game this afternoon. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Had an opportunity to catch up with both coaches before today's game. We'll begin with some sound from first-year head coach from Kidron Central Christian, Mitch Pertee. Mitch Pertee, the first-year head coach of Kidron Central Christian, is joining me right now. And tell me about the transition, becoming the top dog over here, and what that has been like for you over the last couple of months.
Yeah, this is my first year as the head varsity coach. I've been involved with the program for 3 years, so it's exciting to take over. The first 2 years, obviously, I've coached these girls on JV, so the continuity of the same girls coming back and now being on the varsity team is exciting. So we have a good team this year with lots of experience. Been hit with COVID a couple times, which has made the season a little bit challenging. It's been exciting. Yeah.
The first game of the season, Lucas was able to come over to your place and sneak out a 1-point victory. What type of adjustments or changes will you make today, if any, to try to flip the script there?
Lucas is a good team. Obviously, being in the league, we've played with them 2 times a year. So we're very familiar with who they are. They're very familiar with who we are. I feel like it's a good matchup. And really, at the end of the day, we know each other so well, it just basically comes down to execution. So that's what we're hoping to do, is just execute better today.
All right. Good luck to you, Coach.
Thank you. Yep.
So there is Coach Pertee weighing in on his thoughts, how they can get a victory here on the road this afternoon. Also had the chance to talk with Kathy Grover, now in her 7th season here with Lucas. Let's take a look at that. 7th-year head coach for the Lucas Cubs, Kathy Grover, is joining me now, and this has been a season unlike any other, Kathy, of course. And for you girls particularly, a little bit shorthanded, only 7 players on the roster, and you were telling me before the game it's maybe not so much the depth that bothers you in the games is practice time. Explain that to the folks at home. I guess some of the struggles there, having 7 players.
When you only have 7, you can be really good at 3-on-3. But when you want to change things or adapt or add new things, it's kind of hard when you don't have a team to practice against. 5-on-5 would be great, but when you only have 7, it makes it really hard to make adaptations and changes.
You do have some talented players, though, on your 7, including a couple of your daughters. One of them, a sophomore, Shelby, really having an outstanding season, scoring the basketball. Tell me a little bit about her maturation as a player since you've seen her come up through the ranks.
Last year we joked she would kind of just like get blown away by bigger and stronger athletes, that she would go up. You know, middle school and high school, it's a big jump. The speed of the ball and the defense that you face, they're bigger than what she is. She's done a nice job of figuring out when to go into the lane and when not to. I would like to see her shoot more of her jumper, though.
All right. Good luck to you today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So there you have it, a breakdown by both head coaches of what needs to happen here today in order to get a victory. And Jesse, what a tough challenge it is for Kathy Grover this season. She's got just 7 players on the roster. It's hard enough coaching in 2020-21 as it is, but she has the added challenge of trying to only have 5 players and 2 off the bench.
Absolutely. I mean, just to think about all the difficulties that would come with that, certainly the drills in practice where ideally you would like to have at least 10 to go 5-on-5 or 8 to go 4-on-4, and just, you know, working on injuries, the COVID protocols, all those things to try and have enough players to be able to just have a team this year.
We'll now step aside for the playing of the national anthem, Star Spangled Banner. We have honored America and are now ready for some high school basketball action. And we're in some rare company today too, Jesse. We're talking about a couple of coaching staffs where the head coach has 2 daughters on the team. Both have a senior and a sophomore, so statistically speaking, this is one of the most rare games going down in the country today.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I am a dad who coaches his kids, and I've been a varsity coach, but I've not done them both at the same time yet. So what a unique experience, and I'm sure that brings some incredible, you know, discussion around the dinner table after games and practices, both of great value and probably a little bit of difficult conversation as well.
Definitely in a unique circumstance for both of these teams. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineups for today. And we mentioned the family ties in the starting lineup. How about Sophie Pertee and Sage Pertee, both starting for head coach Mitch. And then on the other side, Shelby Grover, the leading scorer, and Jamie Grover doing pretty much everything else statistically for this team, both in the lineup for head coach Kathy, rounded out by Ryan Culler, Tori Sauter, and Tori Harvey. And then on the other side, Morgan Chandler, Emma Mast, and Kylie Nussbaum round out the starting lineup for Kidron Central Christian today. So
you know what I love about Lucas is you could do this game 40 years ago, and you're going to see a lot of those same last names. And Lucas is very much a family community. I'm originally from Lucas. I remember seeing the Sauter name, the Harvey name. These names have been around forever in Lucas. It's a place where families stay together. It's a great community feel in Lucas. It's kind of a unique, just special little place, and just north of Central Ohio. It's kind of a fun family affair here in a lot of ways today.
I would agree with you, and I noticed that a lot of people that are from Lucas, they have great pride and tradition from coming from this small community. So if you're part of the Cub family, when you're growing up, you're always a member of this family. They are always repping on social media and such, cheering on their Cubs, and they win the opening tip here. Take it the other way as we are underway. Afternoon basketball from the Cub Cave. Lucas trying to defeat Central Christian for the second time this season, but missing their first shot attempt. That was Color.
Yeah, we mentioned just the 7 players on the Lucas team and some of the problems that may present. Obviously, you got to look at foul trouble then. You know, you run the risk of finish a game with 4 players if you get – and there's a foul right there on Lucas. But it's something you just have to be every game, every possession. You don't want to give away bad fouls because you only have 2 subs to begin with. And if you start picking up foul trouble on multiple players, you could finish the game with less than 5 players on the floor. So certainly a difficult task for the Cubs night in and night out.
This is Chandler at the free throw line. Coach Pertee said she's averaging about 8 points per game on the season. Looking to get the comments on the board here, but comes up empty on the trip.
You know, this Lucas team, for only 7 players, they run the floor. I mean, they're going to get up and down quickly. I saw them even just doing some side-to-side sprints before the game. I thought, man, 7 players, you want to be as well rested as you can. But they're going to get out, they're going to compete, they're going to work hard, regardless of the amount of players on the roster. They're going to play to win this game, absolutely.
And you heard in my conversation before the game with Coach Grover as that one finds the bottom off the nice jump shot set up there by Sophie Pertee, that it's not the conditioning that has been troublesome for this team being so shorthanded. It is the drills, like you mentioned in practice. You would love to do some 5-on-5. Hey, we want to make some adjustments. Let's try this offense or try this defensive set. You can't do it without coaches jumping in there and being part of the activity. So it's not that this team doesn't have the cardio conditioning, because as you just mentioned, they get up and down the floor quite a bit.
There's Sophie Pertee picks up her first foul of the game. So Lucas inbounding the ball right under their own hoop. Get it to Grover. Nice jump stop in the lane. The floater back iron. Tipped out of bounds. I think that was last touched by Shelby. It was. Tori Sauter thought that was off of Central Christian and let it go, and the referees said it was off of Lucas, so it's going to be Central Christian ball. Kind of the shocked look on her face when the referee signaled it's going to be Central Christian. Full court man-to-man right now as the Cubs look to trap off the first pass, but the Comets do well to break the pressure. Mid-range jumper there, and that's good from Sage Pertee. Central Christian just kept their head up on that press there. They never panicked, they just kept looking for the next open player, and when you run that trap, you always run the risk of there being an open player somewhere, and Central Christian found her, and then she knocked down that open jumper. Comets on the leak out. Gonna hang on to the basketball, tipped out of play by Tori Harvey. Comets with a 4-point cushion here in the early going. Maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there on the inbounds play. Couldn't find anybody open, and they just kind of stood there as they're being defended. So she luckily gets it tipped back to Central Christian. Comets on the kick out. Get an open 3, and that finds its way home. Kylie Nussbaum, their leading scorer, fills it up for 3. Lucas has just been caught a little bit off guard there defensively. A couple open plays, open shots, and Central Christian's knocked them down. So for Lucas, I think you're going to want to pick it up defensively and not give away those open jump shots. Central Christian proving early that they're going to be able to knock down open shots. Cubs working around the perimeter and just kind of lucky that that bounces right into the hands there of Sauter. Yeah, certainly not how they drew it up, but buckets are buckets, and she will take that, certainly. Comets off the drive, floater, and it's good off the backboard. One more on the way, too, for Morgan Chandler. Just Just a good pump fake and just a good hard dribble, goes to the rim and just goes up strong with it. You know, a lot of young players, that's a key part. If you just go up strong and you're in the paint there's a good chance you're going to get fouled, and she does get fouled, and she makes the shot.
First substitution for Lucas, Callie Nolan checking into the mix. Harvey's going to have to take a seat, and I believe both fouls against Lucas might be on her, Jesse. So you talked about how problematic that could be for them being shorthanded. We'll see how long she has to stay on the bench.
They're certainly not happy when she came off. I don't know if she disagreed with a foul or something was said, but there was a little bit of frustration as she came off the bench there.
Quick first step and the blow-by for Shelby Grover.
Yeah, just a good jab step. Just move the defender a little bit, goes strong to her left, and just finishes at the rim. That's a good finish by Shelby Grover.
We're going to get a tie-up. Possession arrow staying with the Comets, and one more look. You're right. Great jab fake inside, and then just the speed, the quickness on that first step to get by the defender.
You know, the ability to go either to your left or to right is an underrated ability, and she proves she can go to her left hand there, and then she's able to finish off the left hand as well.
Bottoms up, though, from downtown, Sage Pertee. So a couple of triples here for the Comets, and they've built an 8-point lead near the midway point here this opening quarter, as that one's off the mark and rebounded. Actually, they're going to call that a deep 2 on the previous possession for Kidron, who throws it away. Here's Jamie Grover, coast to coast, and she delivers.
It's not always easy to finish at top speed like that, and she's right there making a play on the ball. She has already been a part of probably nearly 3 steals. She's deflected 2 and had a jump ball for the other. Here you just see that replay again. Just good speed and able to finish at a high speed. Not always easy to do, but she does it and makes it look good doing it.
Cubs still applying that full court pressure.
Looks like they went ahead and then switched it back to a three-pointer now. So we're getting the scoreboard figured out. So it was a 3 by Purdy just a little bit ago.
Well, maybe they looked back at the OH report replay and decided that both feet were behind the line. Actually not really sure how they came to that conclusion.
Certainly the near ref signaled a 3. I didn't see what the far ref signaled, and then the scoreboard or the scorebook operator was yelling some information as well. And so it's 3 points for the Comets, which makes it 13-6. Central Christian's got the lead with just 3:54 to go in the first quarter.
Sophie Pertee out of the lineup. Haley Eberly in for the first time today. See Grover directing traffic. The senior really is the heart and soul of the team. Though a bit off target with that pass to Culler, and it leads to a turnover. Comets pushing the pace back the other way. Tough shot over 2 defenders there, forced up, and it's no good from Nussbaum. And that one, I think, just came off the hand wrong of Culler. Air ball out of bounds over to Central Christian.
They just kind of forced a quick shot there. Certainly she was open, but she wasn't really set. Kind of took an awkward dribble into the shot, and then the result was not what she wanted.
Nice move, baseline drive, and Emma Mast comes up with 2 points.
Yeah, just a good dribble, just one dribble right around the defender and just finishes at the rim. Central Christian showing some different offense early. We've seen open jump shots, we've seen 3-pointers, and we see a nice post move there. So lots of different ways to score for the Comets here in the first quarter.
Harvey didn't stay on the bench for long. With 3:11 here to go in the first, she's back on the floor. As that one comes off the backboard hard for Grover. And it's one and done. Rebound to Central Christian. Another traveling violation. Nussbaum just went a little bit too quick.
For Central, I don't know if they've missed a lot of shots. Either they're getting buckets or they're turning the ball over, which is good and bad, I guess. Your shooting percentage is good, but your turnover, possession ratio is probably not that good. So you got to figure out a way. You don't want to just give away empty possessions to a team like Lucas. You know they're going to battle it out. They're going to figure out a way to get some offense going.
Not finding the shooting touch, though, here in the early portion, as Color again well off the mark with that shot attempt.
Kaylee Nolan deflecting that pass out of bounds, nearly beat Long on the press, and she's able to get back and tip it out of bounds.
In the paint, kick out, 3-ball on the way, and again it is good. The shooting touch for Kylie Nussbaum is there, lighting things up here in the early going. And off the foul here, give me an opportunity to let you know coming up tonight, we've got some boys hoops and a good one, folks. Northern 10 rivals Bucyrus and Upper Sandusky will clash live and free at 6:30 p.m. You can hear Storm Blunchley and Garrett Parlett on the call from Upper.
Ryan Culler knocks down her first free throw, misses the second long.
So it trims the deficit down to 11, but nice hot start here for the Comets, who aren't a very good offensive team so far on the season. So this is a good sign for them. Already 18 points and still 2 minutes to go here in this opening quarter.
Absolutely. You know, especially the Mid-Buckeye Conference, they don't see a lot of high-scoring girls games. So to have 18 in the first quarter with just under 2 to go and now 20, I mean, they are red hot from the start here and scoring in a variety of ways against the Lucas Cubs.
The latest is Eberly working the offensive glass. She's able to deliver with the stick back. So Lucas needs to find an answer here offensively. Shelby Grover has been cold from the floor and collects her own miss at least here after coming up short with the shot. That 3-ball won't go either for Jamie.
Ryan Culler with a lot of hustle just to keep that ball live and keep it in play and make it a jump ball, which is going to go back to the Cubs. Lucas, I mean, they're getting shots. I don't think they're great shots that they're getting, but they're certainly getting some shots off. They're taking care of the basketball. They're just not knocking down a lot of them. So a lot of contested shots. Bit of a miscue here on the inbound play right to Central.
Not a good-looking pass there from Callie Nolan. Coach Grover thought could be a bit of a secret weapon here today. Didn't play in the first meeting when they took on the Comets.
Jamie Grover with a big steal. Pretty physical to get the steal, and then a foul to get the ball back on Haley Eberly. I think most of the team didn't even know that there was any action on the other side, and there's two girls battling out.
Like the play set up there, but the shot comes up short from Nolan. And look at Grover, man. She just does everything for this team, leading them in steals, assists, rebounding. The senior having a fantastic year and sets this one up. It's going to be Sauter heading to the free throw line.
Yeah, she's got, I think, at least 3 steals unofficially by my count just watching the game, but also some deflections, a jump. I mean, she's just been all over the place defensively and really to help keep this game within 13 at this point.
Sauter still has one more free throw on the way. Lucas trailing 20-7 here in the first quarter, under a minute to go. And it's another empty trip to the free throw line. Tough whistle there off the drive. It's going to be more foul shots coming up for Morgan Chandler.
Yeah, it's just some defensive breakdowns a little bit. Central Christian is able with one move get into the paint, and then once they get by, Lucas is just kind of having to resort to foul right now. At some point, you almost, I mean, with that number of players, you may just have to kind of let them go. Certainly, you don't want to play bad defense, but you don't want to foul out either. So that's just tough things to navigate with just having 7 players on the bench, or 7 players total.
3 team fouls right now for Lucas, 5 at this point against Central Christian. Make it 6 and 1 opportunity on the way for Nolan.
Yeah, buckets have been hard to come by for Lucas, so she's able to just a quick step around, gets right to the rim, makes the layup and fouled, and a chance to cut into that Central Christian lead at the free throw line.
Lucas certainly needed this.
Lucas has been struggling from the free throw line. That's at least 3 straight misses off the free line there. Those are never good stats.
Comets called for a 10-second violation. just moments before Chandler was going across the timeline, so gives the Lady Cubs possession back. They've got 18 seconds to play with, able to hold for the last shot if they so choose.
Central Christian pretty shocked by that 10 count, I think. He's looking around, see if anybody was counting. Nobody else was counting, so we'll just have to trust that the referee was counting correctly, but he certainly did not think that was the right amount of time.
Nice move straight down Main Street, and the floater is pure for Sauter. Last chance for Central Christian. They don't get it off in time. So that'll take us to the end of one, where right now it's the Comets on top, 21-11. You're watching live and free high school basketball on a Saturday afternoon exclusively on the OH Report.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. Get online with essential digital marketing services for local businesses. And feel like they do. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Stop in the Cub Cave Carryout in Lucas. Conveniently stocked with everything you need, and even a one-stop pet shop. Located on Ohio 39 in the heart of Lucas, proudly supporting Cubs. It is a double-digit 10-point lead for Kidron Central Christian here on the road inside the Cub Cave as we open up quarter number 2. Lucas and Kidron going head-to-head. Brian Skronsky and Jesse Ryder with you on the call from fabulous Lucas, Ohio.
Yeah, what an interesting first quarter. If I'm not mistaken, I think the first time they played, Central had 42 points total, and now comes away with 21 points in the first quarter to start things off. But Lucas kind of into the game or into the quarter on a positive note. 2 straight layups, a chance at the free throw line a couple of times. So they're getting their offensive looks. Now they just got to figure out defensively and slow down the Central Christian offense.
Comets have been super versatile with their offensive looks. They've got nice clean shot attempts from a variety of different methods. Though they start out the quarter here with a couple of missed shots. Lucas, their second shot attempt won't fall either.
It's a good aggressive take by Ryan Culler there. Just catches the ball down low. One move and goes up with it. Just misses that layup, but good looking opportunity for the Cubs.
Sauter to trigger underneath their own hoop. Has to come up top. Shelby Grover. She's going to pull the trigger. 3 ball straight away, and it tickles the twine.
Cuts into that Central Christian lead, just up by 7 now. Lucas has got a little bit of momentum after being down big early. They're battling back. They're starting to pick things up defensively, knocking down some open shots. That's key.
That one way too strong on the shot attempt by Chandler. Grover always pushing the pace back the other way into the body, and she's going to get fouled and head to the free throw line, which has not been kind to Lucas so far tonight.
Just a good aggressive take there. I think it was Eberle who comes over and tries to go straight up, but her arms are just kind of, they're not straight, they're diagonal. Coach is just kind of making sure that's the correct call as well, but I think that I agree with the referee. She wasn't exactly straight up. She certainly came down a little bit, but another missed free throw for the Cubs.
Obviously they're killers in low scoring affairs like they played in the first matchup, but 21 points here for the Comets in the early going, so perhaps the winner of this one will have to be up in at least the 50s. If you want to get a dub here this afternoon, we'll find out.
Lucas keeps battling back into that big lead, only down 6.
Nice up and under play right there, using the glass tube. Kylie Nussbaum.
It's an athletic and just coordinated finish. I mean, just to go up and make the athletic move she does, but then to know where she is and to make that play, that's just such a good-looking layup there. High off the glass, the right spin. Gets some points for Central Christian, who had been a little quiet offensively to start the second.
Emma Mast with a tie up there. Looked like she had a clean steal. She didn't really like the call, but Cubs can't capitalize on the extended possession there. So here comes Nussbaum. Now sets a screen. Pressure being applied there by Grover. And off the misfire, tracking down the own miss there was Sophie Perty. Timeout taken by Midge Perty. Gives me a quick opportunity to say thank you to anybody who's out there watching in Facebook or YouTube land, and let us know where you're watching from and who you are cheering for today in this contest. You just might make today's fan zone, so drop us a line. Let us know. Get social today with the OH Report. Also coming up tonight, we have 4 live streams. This is our nightcap, and we have got all hands on deck. We are going to bring you a 3-camera shoot, sideline reporters, the whole 9 yards for Shelby versus Clear Fork boys. Should be an awesome MOAC battle. Me and Jesse Ryder both on the call for that one as well. So if you didn't have enough reasons to watch, how about that right there?
That's going to be a lot of fun tonight. 2 great teams. You know, Shelby is playing some really good basketball right now. Clear Fork is right on the verge of being that really great team. Played Ontario really close. I mean, they're right there. And, you know, they had Ontario, I believe, for 3 quarters and just kind of lost in that 4th quarter. So I know they're looking forward to this big matchup tonight. It is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great game, a lot of basketball. I'm excited, Brian.
Me and you both. Shelby State ranked this week, and they have been on a tear, 8-1 on the season. Clear Fork coming off a bad loss, I would say, to Marion Harding, where they didn't play their best basketball. I think we're held in the 40s scoring in that one. So we'll see if the Colts can dig deep, bounce back, put together a big performance, because they're going to need one against, I believe, the number 6 team in Division II.
Absolutely. And certainly there's some talent on that Clear Fork team. We just not seen it consistent yet. And I know they're coming off a couple weird quarantine plays and things where they're missing some players and some coaches, and it just adds a little bit of struggle to your season. So we'll see. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight.
There's big sister and little sister having a little verbal spat, as looked like Jamie telling Shelby she did the wrong thing. Shelby telling Jamie, I think I did the right thing. Oh, these family affairs,
right?
Jesse.
I'm sure it just makes things a little more tense at home, especially in situations where you're losing, and maybe you certainly should be more competitive than what the score is sailing right now. So I'm sure things can get a little heated. Obviously, it's a competitive family. I think the struggle there was Lucas went to end down the ball. Central had a bit of a press on, and Lucas was caught a little bit off guard and burned a timeout because they couldn't get the ball in bounds.
Comets now going to sag back into a half-court man-to-man look. Set up, Jamie, straight away, back iron. But chases down the miss. Squeeze it inside to Shelby, who takes the bump, and she'll have a couple free throws coming up.
Yeah, Jamie Grover just has hustle play after hustle play. I mean, that rebound was not hers, and she just went and got it anyways, tips it away, keeps possession, and nice little post pass into her sister Shelby, who's going to go to the free throw line again and misses another one. The Cubs are struggling from the line right now.
We have an official count on missed free throws. We've got unofficially Lucas about 2 for 7 so far. And make it 2 for 8.
Yeah, in and out there. I mean, the form is good, the technique is good. It's just not falling sometimes.
It's fallen for this young lady so far in the early going. Kylie Newsbaum with another bomb from outside.
Yeah, she's scoring in a variety of ways right now for the Comets. She's got nice layups, couple three-pointers. I mean, just kind of all over the court offensively for the Comets right now. Lucas with a bad turnover, and the lead is back up to 11 for Central Christian.
Newsbaum this time off the screen. Tough pass, and like she's done all game so far, Jamie Grover playing some outstanding defense, but the Cubs give it away in transition.
Yeah, great steal by Grover. And Lucas looking to run the floor, but just kind of a hard, heavy pass and ends up out of bounds, going back to Central Christian. And when you're down double digits, you got to take care of every possession. You just kind of got to get a defensive stop, which they did, and they do again. Another steal for Grover, coast to coast, gets the layup.
And I love that from this senior. You can tell that she's frustrated by her body language and her facial expressions. She's trying to take matters into her own hand, but Man, back the other way. This girl has got it going on. Nussbaum again.
Well, you're absolutely right about Grover. I mean, there's a lot of players that when your team is not performing well, there's individual mistakes, you're missing, all those things. Sometimes it's enough to just kind of give up and just play with that same attitude. But for her, she's making the team better just by effort and attitude right now. She's going to get out there and she's going to outwork everybody. She's getting steals, she's getting rebounds, she's doing it all.
Woo!
But they cannot stop Nussbaum for 3 again. Central Christian lighting up the scoreboard right now. 31 points, 3:50 to go in the second quarter. Nussbaum is on fire.
You are absolutely right. She has got 10 points in this corner, 4 3-pointers so far, Jesse. So she certainly found the touch, found the range. She's beyond her season average of 13 points per game right now.
I'm just playing an incredible offensive game, right? Just knocking down threes from all over. Great layups. I mean, just a good offensive start here for the Comets, led by Kylie Nussbaum, junior, for the Central Christian team.
And I think that's why basketball is my favorite sport, is the fact that one player can be such a difference maker. We were just talking about Jamie Grover trying to take over, doing everything she can defensively, and then on the other side, Central Christian, while they've played well as a team, it's really kind of been Kylie Nussbaum just taking over, making big clutch shots, 4 triples already, and only at the midway point here of the second quarter. So it's just awesome that one individual can have such an impact on a game.
Absolutely. I mean, right now you look at Central Christian, they're on pace to beat their previous score against Lucas by halftime.
Yeah,
they got 31 now, 3:50 left to play. They had 42 the first time they played the Cubs, so a lot of offense right now from Central Christian. For Lucas, they're defending in spurts. They come away with some steals and some big defensive plays, and then they just get killed by that 3 a couple times in a row. Just some big 3-point attempts for Central Christian.
So the advantage has ballooned back out to 14 points for the Comets. Cubs looking to cut into that. Jump ball is going to be the call. Nice drive, but Culler just kind of lost the handle, lost her footing.
It's going to go back to Central Christian as well, who has found different ways to keep scoring. Looks like Lucas has switched Jamie Grover on to Nussbaum to not give away so many of those empty, open looking for threes, but backdoor cut. Ooh, just misses that layup. Her teammates are excited. She is feeling it right now. You can hear the bench cheering for her. This may not be quite the norm, but certainly she's got some scoring ability.
It was Emma Mast with the rebound and the stick back, but that's pretty much all set up by the play of Nussbaum, drawing so much attention, double team there, and it led to the basically wide open offensive board.
It's a great cut through the lane by Tori Souter, but just not able to finish at the rim. It's going to be a Central Christian rebound, and they're bringing it back the other way.
Foul's going to go against Lucas and Sauter, trying to fight through that screen. Looked like she got the worst end of it, too, as she ended up on her backside.
Yeah, the referee called that she was pushing through that screen. Certainly took a hard fall because of it. It's at least 2 fouls for her, I'm pretty sure.
Drive, left-handed shot. Will not fall that time for Sophie Pertee.
See Shelby Grover on the bench right now, catching her breath, trying to just get reset here. Bit of a rough start offensively for her, but Jamie Grover drives in, kicks it out, and Tori Sauter knocks down a nice open 2 there.
Pretty play right there, and you can tell Jamie's feeling a little bit offensively today too. She's doing her best work at the defensive end, but she's winning her one-on-one battles pretty routinely, that time with a nice setup and the knockdown.
Shelby Grover and Tori Harvey checking back into the games for the Cubs.
Breaks are always limited when you're playing for the Lady Cubs this season.
I'm sure all 7 players would probably have more minutes than most players for other teams.
When we were over here approximately a week ago on a Saturday afternoon, a win for Lucas over Crestline. They were even down a player, only had 6 available, and still were able to get it done.
Yeah, that is impressive. Just 1 sub at the varsity level to come away with a win. And we talk about only having 7 players, but there's 7 talented players. I mean, they're here to play. They're going to compete. You know, they're knocking down some shots. Jamie Grover, just all sorts. Ooh. Takes a bit of a rough screen there. Wasn't called out by a teammate, but just creating havoc again.
But they just cannot slow the roll right now of Nussbaum.
Yeah, Jamie Grover had the defensive responsibility, got screened off, and nobody really switched on to her. Then just a nice big layup there for Nussbaum again. Another jump ball is going to stay here with the Cubs.
What a quarter here for the junior guard, Kylie Nussbaum, with a dozen. Basically outscoring Lucas all on her own. Cubs with a second opportunity, and Harvey follows up her own miss.
Lucas is a little out of sorts on their press here. There's been a couple times where one player has been off and just led to an open pass. And when you have an open pass on a press, it's easy to break. There's so much space to work with. So they're just struggling defensively on the full court. And then when Jamie Grover gets screened off, nobody else is picking up Kylie Nussbaum, and she is just taking over and getting any shot she wants, and it's falling for her.
Cubs, though, hanging around here, only down by 11. They've got the rock, a $1.09 to go. See if they can get a basket here, trim it down to single digits.
Yeah, I think that you're exactly right. You want to get a basket here, get a stop at the other end, maybe one more chance. It's a deep three by Grover, high and off the mark there. Probably not the shot you wanted. Now you got to get a big defensive stop, maybe get back, get a little momentum going the other way.
And they will get that stop with 47 ticks to go. That was Sage Pertee with the off-target missile from three.
47 seconds left. When you're down 11 right before half is interesting. Do you want to try and hold it, make it a single-digit deficit you're trying to cut into, or do you try and take a quick shot, look to get another possession defensively? And they opted for option 2. Quick shot, no points, and Central Christian's got the ball with 30 seconds to go.
So that's the killer if you don't elect to hold for the final shot. Finally, Nussbaum misses one. That one rattles out too off the offensive board from Pertee. So the Cubs again with possession, but turned back at the rim. Fouled, though, is Shelby Grover.
Yeah, Emma Mass with a big block here. You see Kaylee Nolan again just blocked by Mass, but Grover goes right into her. And that's definitely a foul there on the second one by Emma Mass. So Shelby Grover, who struggled from the line, is going to get a chance for 2 right before the half.
Able to find her touch here, so 10-point deficit. Can Grover make it a 9-point game? She can.
9 seconds left here. Lucas matching up.
And where's Kylie? Camping out in the corner. I'm actually shocked that they didn't put the ball in her hands. And they're not even going to get a shot off. That won't count even if it goes. So Lucas doing some nice work, though, over the last few minutes of the second quarter. Trim it down to a 9-point deficit as they enter the locker room trailing 35-26. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with some first half stats, break down what we saw through 2 quarters of play, get you ready for the final 16 minutes of action here from the Cubs Cave. Keep it locked in. Live and free girls high school hoops on a Saturday afternoon will return right after this.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. Get online with essential digital marketing services for local businesses. And feel like they do. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Stop in the Cub Cave Carryout in Lucas. Conveniently stocked with everything you need, and even a one-stop pet shop. Located on Ohio 39 in the heart of Lucas, proudly supporting Cubs. It's halftime here inside of the Lucas Cub Cave, where right now it's the visiting team having the better time on the scoreboard. 35-26 is the lead for Kidron Central Christian, who have got it going on, certainly from beyond the arc, and a lot of that work done by one lady named Nussbaum. So I think that that's just been the difference. You could point to just the play of Kylie Nussbaum and say that that's kind of where the 9-point differential has come.
Absolutely. I mean, what a first half that she had. I mean, a couple layups, 4 threes. Just it's a lot of offense from one player in one half, especially when you look at the Mid-Buckeye girls conference. They don't normally score this many points. This could be a final score a lot of times for this conference. And today we're looking at a 35-26 advantage for Central Christian at halftime, and Nussbaum with just a stellar first half offensively. For Lucas, I think part of the stats you look at that are key, you're down by 10 in rebounds. That doesn't help. And then your free throws, you made 4, and I'm guessing probably 4 of 9, 4 of 10 maybe. They struggled from the line offensively. And so you look at those kind of empty possessions where you're missing free throws, you're not getting a second chance offensively because you're not getting the rebounds. I mean, just that was probably not the best first half we've seen from the Lucas Lady Cubs. So we know there's some talent there. I think that the question is, what does it look like in the second half? What adjustments will they make, and what's going to be different?
7 missed free throws for the Cubs to be exact in that first half. And Shelby Grover right now leading the way. She's got 10 points, so she's kind of doing her thing. And big sister, what a versatile threat she's been here. Jamie Grover has probably, 5, 6 steals already, leading the way in rebounds too, has set up a couple of nice shots. So they're getting what they need out of those two players. Where do the other complementary pieces come through? What can Color knock down a big shot? Can you get like a 3 from Harvey or Nolan? I think that's going to be the question, and if it's answered by some of these other pieces for Lucas, I think they can get back into this game and potentially get a nice comeback victory here.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. I think can you make the shots you're supposed to make? That's usually key in girls high school basketball is, can you make the shots, the open jumpers, the three-pointers, the free throws? Can you make those shots? And that's going to give you consistent offense. On the other side, it's turning in, can you stop Kylie Nussbaum, though, which has been a bit of a struggle. What we're seeing is Lucas in his full-court press is losing Nussbaum. When they go to trap the ball, they get screened off, and then she is wide open for 3, or she's quick enough that she's driving in and making some big layups. So I think you've got to figure out a way. If you want to keep that full court pressure, can you stay on her the entire court and not give her these open looks? She is proving today she's going to knock down open looks. And so that may be easier said than done, but I think you have to make that adjustment for the second half.
Lady Comets coming out of the locker room, and 18 points so far for Kylie. 12 of those coming in the second quarter. We'll find out here together if she can keep up that offensive pace. When we come back out of a commercial break, we'll step aside one more time, and we'll be back. Third quarter action on the way from the Cub Cave.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. Get online with essential digital marketing services for local businesses. And feel like they do. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Stop in the Cub Cave Carryout in Lucas. Conveniently stocked with everything you need, and even a one-stop pet shop. Located on Ohio 39 in the heart of Lucas. Proudly supporting Cubs. second half action just about set to begin here in Lucas inside of the Cubs Cave, where the home team's got some work to do if they want to get back into this game and get a victory. Kidron Central Christian right now with a 35-26 cushion through 2 quarters of action. My name is Brian Skronsky, joined by Jesse Ryder this afternoon for this Mid-Buckeye Conference clash. And so far, the story has been 2 names, really. It's been Grover and Nussbaum. We'll see which one steps up biggest here in the second half. And as we talked about, too, who's going to have the better complementary pieces and parts here in the next couple of quarters should be an interesting finish.
Yeah, and it's going to be an interesting matchup for Grover and Nussbaum, because I expect to see Jamie Grover matched up on Kylie Nussbaum, starting to limit some of those long-distance threes she's been getting. The struggle with that is she's been so active when someone else has the ball, and she's come away with 4 or 5 steals, deflections, jump balls. So it kind of changes things defensively. It'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments are made for the second half by each team.
We do have Jamie Grover face guarding Nussbaum right now, so challenge accepted by the senior. As that's knocked down, though, wide open at the free throw line, and Mast takes full advantage.
Yes, Lucas is just not quite right there defensively. And we saw Jamie Grover defensively right on Nussbaum, but then the rest of the Lucas defensive effort was not at the right place.
And I think that's going to be a whistle against color. My perspective saw Pertee just lose her footing.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a bailout call there. Certainly they were close in contact and she went down. It's hard to tell what was the cause of that. Here you see the speed of Grover just to get back in front of Nussbaum.
Great
it's not going to be an easy half, and Grover just rips it away, saves it. What a fast, athletic play by Jamie Grover.
Shelby had the first 2 points for the Lady Cubs, running the floor well on their previous possession. And inside here, that's going to be tipped out of bounds off the shot attempt from Sauter.
That's a big block by Mass, and she just got her hands up there and kept the ball from going forward and smacks it out of the bounds in process.
Great up fake jump stop in the lane.
Oh,
Foul
referee says on the floor.
Wonder why.
Oh, the NBA is giving that to you every time you're getting that continuation call. I thought she did the jump stop and then she went up. Referee does not agree.
So the foul goes against Sage Pertee as they open up Shelby again. Good looking stroke from the corner, but it's just a shade too long. She tracks down her own miss. And so it's going to be an extra possession here for Lucas. We'll see if they can capitalize.
Good backdoor pass by Grover.
Now they thread it inside. Shelby, good look, backside, but Harvey can't come up with the bucket.
It's going to be a foul on Mast over the back. She gets up and smacks the ball away, but commits a foul in the process. So it's 2 quick fouls for Central Christian to start the second half. Lucas still facing that 9-point deficit, trying to get another bucket here to cut into that lead.
Shelby, good body control, missed it. Gets her own rebound, had the shot, I think, partially blocked by Mast.
I think you're right, Emma Mast. I think definitely had a piece of that shot and certainly altered if no piece at all. Oh, in and out. Ooh, see number 12, Tori Sauter, holding her head. Definitely fell to the ground there.
And for Pertee, that thing was about as close to funneling home as it could be, but somehow found its way out.
Tori Sauter's a tough player there. I mean, she's been active both sides of the ball. Tries to take a charge there and doesn't get the call, but certainly makes it difficult to miss or to make the layup, and that's what she did.
Here comes Jamie trying to get some numbers.
What a great pass and the foul there. Jamie Grover, we've talked about her defensive ability with stealing and rebounding, but she's also a terrific passer as well. I mean, setting up teammates, just a great backdoor pass there. And Kaylee Nolan gets fouled in the process.
Jamie leads the team in assists so far on the season. That one, back iron and through the bottom for Nolan.
Brian, my guess would be that Jamie leads the team in probably about everything except maybe points at this rate.
That is pretty much exactly what her mother/head coach said. Shelby leads the team in scoring about 15 points per game, and then Jamie leading in just about every other statistical category. It's a nice move there, and getting into the paint, going off the square was Pertee. Hesitation wrapped up, and it's going to be a foul against Nussbaum. She doesn't like the call.
Our records say that may be 4 fouls on Nussbaum there, so certainly a terrific game offensively, but a couple of fouls there. You know, obviously in the first half you want her to leave her in. She had the hot hand, but 4 fouls is tough for the Central Christian Comets.
So she will have to take a seat. Scoreless through 2 minutes and change here as Haley Eberly checks into the contest for her. Nolan can't make good on either free throw attempt, so the difference still 9, like it was when we started the frame. But without their top scoring threat on the floor, we'll see what offense looks like for the Comets here the rest of the way in the third.
What allows Jamie Grover to just kind of play, what is it, a foul there on Central Christian, just play kind of all over and just be that chaotic defender that she is. She doesn't have to face guard Nussbaum the whole time. You saw her everywhere the ball went, she went, and she was just kind of making it difficult to get that pass in. And it's going to be a Lucas ball because of it.
And for the Cubs, they're only 2 fouls away from getting in the bonus, even though the free throw line has not been their friend so far today. So we'll see. That might even work in Kidron's advantage.
Absolutely. You start the hack-a-shack model here. I don't know. Lucas certainly has struggled from the free throw line.
Shelby, fast first move, as she pretty much always does. Sizes up her defender, and she buries the mid-range J.
Yeah, the footwork of the Cubs is really, really solid. I mean, they catch the ball, they square up, pump fake, and then they're going hard to the rim just about every time.
Tough angle on the shot that was missed. Offensive rebound for Kidron. But the second opportunity is off the mark, too, so the Cubs avoid any further damage there, trailing now just by 7 with the rock.
You just see the veteran composure there by Grover. Just go get the ball, settle things down. You don't want to get a turnover after the rebound. Just patience in the offense. You know, you've been down most of the game, but you're going to get it back by getting stops and making open shots.
Nice look, backside short corner. And Nolan's going to head back to the charity stripe where she missed her last 2 attempts.
The spacing of Nolan has been exactly right, and she doesn't have a ton of points right, but she's getting fouled every time, so she just makes that backdoor cut. She's right there. Grover keeps finding her. Now, the question is, Brian, can they knock down the free throws?
Have not been able to up to this point. I think shooting collectively as a team under 40% today, and with 16 fouls for Kidron, it is going to put Lucas on the line probably quite a bit here over the last 12 minutes, 20 seconds of gameplay.
Yeah, 16 fouls, and we believe that's 4 on Eberly as well. So a couple players in some foul trouble for Central Christian. Some key contributors in the first half are now on the bench in the second half due to having 4 fouls.
Cubs staying relentless, going after the basketball. Color down on the floor.
That was a long wait for a jump ball. Color, 6 girls all grabbing on the ball, and the referee's just watching. There's more players on the floor than there was standing up.
Possession arrow is going to stay down at this end. Poked out of bounds. Quick hands there by Pertee.
Lucas only down 7, still kind of hanging around here. A bucket here really kind of swings that momentum for Lucas's favor.
Especially with Kylie Nussbaum sitting on the bench, and I would assume probably for the remainder of this third quarter at least.
The defensive effort of Tori Souter as she sat on the ground. She smacked that ball 3 times, didn't foul, and now it gets a turnover because of it. That may be the greatest seated defensive effort I've ever seen.
I don't know that I've ever seen a seated defensive effort quite like that
She reached
before.
up 3 times and made contact with the ball, didn't foul, disrupted the play, and now they've got the ball back.
Had it tipped off her leg, though, off the drive. So a turnover for Sauter after the clutch defense from her backside.
Lucas looking for a little bit full court pressure here. A little confusion on who's going to be going where, though. A little late there. Just turns into an easy transition play when you have that's a tough break for the Cubs, who've been getting some momentum offensively, and then just a miscue defensively.
Chandler lost the handle trying to go through a lot of traffic in the middle of the floor.
It has been a sloppy third quarter from both teams. Turnovers, kind of the ball just getting out of bounds a bunch. Certainly not the same offense and style we saw in the first half. A little different here in the third.
Off the drive, Grover's going to head to the free throw line. And this will be a 2-shot foul.
Looks like that's 4 fouls on Sage Pertia as well. That's 3 players with 4 fouls for Central Christian. Looks like coach is electing there to let her stay in the game.
And this the smallest deficit now for Lucas since the first quarter, Jesse, and getting even a little bit closer as the senior calmly knocks down the pair. Just a 2-possession game now.
Looks like Nussbaum's going to check back in. They've had maybe 0 offense, and she has left the game outside of a jump shot by Emma Mass. So certainly they need the offense that she provides, but they've got to be careful on the defensive end that she's not done for the game if she picks up her 5th foul.
Grover staying outrageously active as a defensive player today. Nearly came up with another steal. Basically did, though, as Lucas is going to get possession.
It's going to be a big 3 minutes to finish out the third. Lucas down 5. Central's got 2 players playing with 4 fouls. There's a lot that's going to happen in this last 3 minutes. It's going to dictate the fourth quarter here.
It appears that, well, I thought they were going to play some zone defense to try to protect their 2 players that had the 4 fouls, but they are still in man-to-man, and we'll see how aggressive both Perti and Nussbaum are able to be.
Yeah, I would just go, almost like an ISO with either of the Grover sisters. Let them just go hard to the rim. They've gotten fouled almost every time they go, and there she is. There she goes. Great move.
Big time.
Ooh.
Missed it, though, with the left hand.
Everything was right but the finish, Brian. Good first step, good move to the left, but just could not get it to fall. Ooh, that is a difficult screen.
Leads to a nice look. Mashed, open for the bunny. And that ends about a 3-4 minute scoring drought here for Central Christian.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about Nussbaum for Central Christian, but Mast has had a nice game of her own, knocking down the open shots, couple big blocks, big rebounds.
That's tipped out of bounds. Timeout will be taken by first-year head coach Mitch Perti as he sees his lead dwindle down to 7 here after an offensive explosion in the first. The Comets have really cooled off. Just 6 points in 6 minutes of play so far here in the third. And I think you got to give a lot of that credit, even though it's been sloppy for Kidron, to the defensive effort of Lucas, getting a lot of hands in the passing lane. And they're packing in a little bit better than what we saw for 2 quarters.
Absolutely. I think that's what kind of the Lucas defense makes. It makes it chaotic. It makes it sloppy, and that's how they thrive, is kind of creating off those turnovers.
Don't forget, coming up tonight, live and free on the OH Report on both YouTube and Facebook, the Bucyrus Redmen will travel in Northern 10 Conference action to take on Upper Sandusky. Storm Blunchley on the call along with Garrett Parlett at 6:30. And then our nightcap, our 4th game of the day, will take us into the Colt Corral where Clear Fork has a big MOAC test on their hands. Shelby still undefeated in conference play. We'll see if they can stay that way. It's going to be the Whippets versus Colts. Big game there tonight. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, 2 big games. A lot of fun basketball today. It just feels it's that time of year. You got some NFL playoff football, high school basketball. It's all over, and we've got to cover a couple great games. So it's going to be a lot of fun tonight.
Wide open look. Not buried from the corner by Color. Deep rebound forces the leak out. Comets connect. Left hand high off the glass from Sophie Perti.
Yeah, that's a nice finish. Pretty much a double team under the box down there, and she just turns and knows where the backboard is, knows where the rim is, and banks it in for 2 crucial points to end this third quarter.
And just when you feel like the momentum pendulum was swinging heavily in favor of Lucas, back-to-back baskets now for Central Christian. They have calmed things down, and I think the difference maker, of course, Nussbaum checking back in the game. She hasn't scored those 2 buckets, but just requires so much attention.
Yeah, certainly it requires Grover to play more directly on her, and then she's less chaotic everywhere else. And so that's what we see, kind of these open players, open looks, where Lucas has struggled defensively besides Jamie Grover. I think that they've had a few defensive breakdowns, a few open opportunities for Central Christian. And so when she's face guarding Nussbaum, can the rest of the team pick up that slack and find their defensive assignments and not give away those easy shots.
Colors just picked up the second team foul for Lucas. Short on the 3-ball, tipped out, but into the hands of Color, but lost the handle. Ripped away by Chandler. Short corner, Jay. Perfect. Right on the mark for Pertee.
Lead back up to 11 for Central Christian after just being up 6 just moments ago. A couple big buckets, bad turnovers for the Cubs, and it's an 11-point lead again for Central Christian.
Matching at the other end, though, Sauter comes through with a jump shot of her own.
The full court press for Lucas has not created a lot of turnovers and almost allowed them to get caught in transition. Ooh, a good take there by Sophie Pertee again. Just a strong, aggressive move in for a layup. There you see that jump shot again by Sauter. Just steps into it, knocks it down, comfortable, hits that open jump shot.
Harvey picked up the personal. Shooting foul, too, says the referee. So Pertee on the line, and the first one is good.
I saw the coach mom for Lucas signaling something to the girls out there. My guess is it's drive to the lane. They were so efficient at that at the beginning of the third, just driving, getting fouled. We saw so many Central Christian players getting foul trouble. Lucas was just being aggressive going to the rim, and they've kind of stopped that in the last 3 minutes. So let's see if that happens again for the Cubs.
Great speed by Grover to break the pressure, but Sauter with the traveling violation gives the ball back over to Central Christian, who's got all the momentum right now. These last 2 minutes of the third, they are on a nice little scoring spurt, and Nussbaum back into the game here for the last 10 ticks. See if they can get her the rock for maybe a 3 or something before the horn.
Yeah, almost that offense-defense sub. They take her out on defense because she's got 4 fouls and put her back in when you get a chance on offense.
She elects to give it up to Chandler. Can't bury it just before the horn, and that will take us to the end of 3, where Lucas, a 10-point differential on the scoreboard. We'll see if they can come back in quarter number 4. Live and free girls high school basketball returns on the OH Report right after this.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. Get online with essential digital marketing services for local businesses. And feel like they do. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Stop in the Cub Cave Carryout in Lucas. Conveniently stocked with everything you need, and even a one-stop pet shop. Located on Ohio 39 in the heart of Lucas, proudly supporting Cubs. Just 8 minutes of action remains in this Mid-Buckeye Conference clash between Kidron Central Christian, who's got the basketball, trying to knock off the Lucas Cubs to split the season series. I'm Brian Skronsky, joined by Jesse Ryder. And a near turnover there by Kidron, but they'll hang on to it.
Yeah, I think the fourth quarter adjustments for Lucas, it's got to be, you've got to create turnovers and then stop turnovers. I think that was the beginning of the third as they were creating and they weren't giving the ball away. But towards the end of that third quarter, a lot of empty possessions where they're not even getting shot opportunities up. They were just turning that ball over, leading to some easy Central Christian buckets.
And for the Comets, it was just a 5-point advantage for them. Lucas was doing a lot of work, and over the last 3 minutes of that third quarter, they got outscored, did the Cubs, 6-0. So that's why the differential is what it is, a 10-point lead now for the Comets, who ended up outscoring Lucas 11-10 in the third quarter. And they've got the first 2 here of the fourth. It's Mast again, who's having a nice afternoon.
That's a great inbounds play. Just ran to the open spot, knocks down the easy bank right there. Mast has just done a nice job on both ends of the floor. in that process, Ryan Culler picked up her 4th foul as well. So a couple players playing with 4 fouls here to finish out the 4th quarter. Some key players for Central Christian, and for Lucas, if anybody has 4 fouls, that's a key thing.
Grover with yet another steal. Looking to go end to end. A nice setup and one opportunity on the way for Harvey.
You see just a nice simple crossover there by Grover, and then gives it up. Open play, and then she is fouled in the process. Tori Harvey just getting a chance for an and one. It's not a guaranteed and one as we've seen so far with the Lucas free throws, but a chance at it nonetheless.
Tori does find the bottom, so makes it just a single possession game again. Or I'm sorry, a single digit game. Nearly another and one back at the other side for Mast, who's fouled. And that's just the first miss by Mast here in the second half.
Yeah, she has had a big game, really. I mean, just making all the shots she's supposed to make. She's getting good positioning offensively to get the shots she's supposed to make. But then defensively, she's been a presence as well. A couple big blocks, a couple rebounds. I mean, just a nice game for Emma Mast.
Second free throw goes home, so the lead pushed back out to 11.
See Ryan Culler running the point guard right now for the Cubs.
She just returned to the lineup on Tuesday after being out since December 22nd. So Coach Grover says it's been nice to have Ryan back in the starting lineup here tonight.
They played almost a month of basketball with 6 players, and that is impressive in a lot of ways.
Rebound to Chandler.
And I'm looking at the Lucas roster, of the 7 players, 3 of them are seniors. So you're hoping there's a big 8th grade class that's going to come up next year and be a part of this team as well.
Coach Grover said that they do have 9 players on the middle school team. I believe 5 of those are in the 8th grade, so they will have a bigger class coming in than what they're losing, but still need a few more numbers out here in Cubs country as we've got a timeout on the floor.
Some question as to who is going to be granted the timeout. I think both are trying to call it to get possession of the ball, and I think it's going to be charged to Central Christian.
So the Comets with the timeout, 5:53 to go here, and in a great position to get a victory. And it all started with that first quarter run for them where they put up nearly 20 points. Offense kick-started them in this game, and they've really never relinquished the lead. Lucas got close there in the third quarter, but that nice 6-0 run to end the frame for the Comets. Really a big turning point, I think.
Yeah, certainly a game of momentum. When you can get stops, that usually leads to some good opportunities, and Lucas was able to do that for a while. And they've struggled here just in the past couple minutes and to end the third to keep getting those stops. You saw on the camera there, number 13, Morgan Chandler, getting her knee looked at by the trainer. Certainly in some pain over there. The trainer's speaking to her, and you can see the look on her face. She's experienced some pain in that right knee, I think, so hopefully she's okay.
Nussbaum backs it out to half court, looking to get a head of steam. Foul in the act of shooting there by Sauter.
Yeah, a little bit of lazy defense there by Tori Harvey, not really sliding over, just kind of reaches in and tries to grab the ball, but grabs the arm in the process, and it's 3 or 4 fouls for Tori as well. So Lucas, a couple players there looking at foul trouble.
Nussbaum, I believe that's her first points here this second half after dropping 18 in the first.
Well, she's certainly seen a defensive look from Lucas. I mean, Jamie Grover has been all over for the most part in the second half, trying to limit that offensive output that we saw in the first half, and has done a pretty good job of it, but has allowed Emma Mast to get some open shots because of that.
So now for the Cubs, trailing by 13, they need to start scoring in a hurry. It's going to be one and done for them. Rebounded by Sage Pertee. So defensive stops for the Cubs going to be huge, of course, and this is the person that can do it for you, Grover.
Just moments of chaos there. The ball just kind of get deflected around.
3
pass
on
by
2.
Color.
Shelby just can't get it to go. And a foul about 70 feet away from the hoop against Sauter, her 4th.
I think that might be 3 girls for Lucas who have 4 fouls. We talked about that early on. The difficulty of having 7 on the roster presents, and that's going to be part of it right now. Finishing out games when you've been battling, it's been a bit of a defensive slugfest, if you will. And now they've got 3 players with 4 fouls. You got to be careful.
First free throw good for Mass. She's going to get 1 more here. Rebound to Harvey. Left wide open in the corner. Nolan tried to get it inside to Shelby Grover, who was posting up. And let's check in now. Another game going on live and free on the OH Report right now. Sees Danville looking to end a 3-game slide as they've got the advantage over Centerburg right now on the road. The Blue Devils started the season 8-0, have lost their last 3, but it looks like they're going to turn the corner, get a dub there on the road.
You see Jamie Grover running the floor there.
But the defensive rebounding for Central Christian has been lights out here in the second half. The offensive glass basically non-existent for Lucas.
Shelby Grover just hustling all over the place right now. Just a lot of defensive effort everywhere, and gives Ryan Culler a look at an open layup there to cut into that Central Christian lead. Down to 10 with just over 4 minutes to play in the final quarter.
So for the Cubs, it's going to require a whole lot of guts out there. Jamie doesn't like the call.
Yeah, it's tough. She is a physical player. I think that there's a chance that she fouls nearly every play. I mean, she's just that type of player. Is that a foul? I mean, she certainly made some contact. It's just one of those things that sometimes some referees are going to call it, some referees are not, and they did call that one. So.
And for Central Christian, and maybe Lucas as well, it might come down to just knocking down some free throws over the last 4 minutes. Both of those good from Sage Pertee.
Yeah, certainly if that's how the game's going to be played out, it's certainly favoring Central Christian right now, who shot well from the free throw line as opposed to the Cubs, who have struggled from the free throw line.
Cubs work it side to side. Now they get it in deep. Shelby's shot blocked. Second opportunity misfired by Harvey too.
See, the offensive adjustment from the second half for the Cubs is a little different. They were so good at just driving and just getting fouled and finishing at the rim, and we've not seen a lot of that here in the second half, especially the fourth quarter. Settling for some long jump shots. I had a chance to go up there by Ryan Culler, but Tori Harvey knocks down an open jump shot.
Timeout taken by Coach Pertee and the Comets, as it's back down to a 10-point deficit. Full timeout on the floor. Cubs still hustling, man, getting after it defensively. They're creating the turnovers. Just on the offensive side, Jesse, they've missed some shots that they need to make if they want to get back in the game, and that's why they're still down 10 at this point. Just haven't been able to knock down the open looks.
Absolutely, yeah. They've missed a couple shots that you're going to need to make to be in a game like this, and when they've missed those shots, they've not gotten the rebounds either. You know, Central Christian is really dominating the glass right now and not allowing Lucas to have second chance opportunities. And so Lucas is coming down and one and done on most possessions.
Another look at the game going on in Centerburg. Basically the same score there as here, Jesse. We're simpatico with our other game going down right now, live and free on the OH Report. And both home teams trailing too.
I think maybe a bit of a surprise here. I think if people were to pick who might win this game, obviously the Lucas has a lot of known talent and some proven experience, but Central Christian came to play today, lighting up the scoreboard. 55 points right now. So that is a lot of points for a team that probably averages right around 40 to 45.
Comets dropped the first matchup between these two, 43-42.
What a
beautiful
great
look
backdoor
inside.
cut. Sophie Perti just running that kind of give and go with Emma Mast in the corner there. Great pass, great cut, great finish. Just good offense again from Central Christian.
One more look. The nice feed inside in the sophomore with the layup.
Good to see Morgan Chandler checking back into the game. We saw the trainer spending some time looking at her knee over there, and she is well enough to get back in and compete, be with her teammates here, so it's good to see that. Looks like that's 4 fouls on Emma Mast as well. So a lot of different people with 4 fouls in the game right now. So limited time left on the clock, but that could play out in a variety of ways.
So the pressure by Grover and Grover ×2 out there, forced the turnover. But boy, they have got to get to work here offensively. And for Lucas, I'd almost just want to see both Jamie and Shelby take matters into their own hands.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they just need to just get to the rim. Just a hard move at the top of the key, get in, and they're going to get fouled. The referees have called it pretty consistently, and Central Christian has not been super disciplined on just standing straight up underneath the rim. So I would say one screen, one hard move, and look for those layups at the rim.
Instead, it's going to be a 3-ball, finding the bottom from Sauter.
Just kind of bailed out by a long 3 there. It looks like she didn't even want to shoot it, but felt she had to, and then knocks it down in the process.
So back to single digits, nearly a 10-second violation. I think it was about 9. Tipped out of bounds.
9.5, maybe 9 points. It was close. I think
right
one
there.
more tick of that hand, and it was going to be it. Central Christian did not look comfortable getting out of that press there from the Cubs.
Traveling violation there against Mast.
So it's a 9-point deficit for the Cubs. Just over 2 minutes to go.
28 giveaways here by Central Christian. It's amazing that they've scored 57 points.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, just goes. They've shot pretty well when they've got a chance to shoot the ball. They're knocking down free throws. They're knocking down the open shots. But if you keep that possession, if you just cut into half of that, you've got considerably more points right now.
Shelby Grover looping her way into the lane, lost the handle, tips out of bounds. Last by Central Christian, who wants a timeout. Talk things over as it's Lucas with the basketball and an opportunity here to try to trim it down to 7 or even a 6-point lead as we give you another live look in at the game going down in Centerburg right now with Travis Berardi on the call.
Looks like it's about to wrap up and be a final here. And it's going to be Danville 62, Centerburg 49. Big win for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, it is, and that's been a fun conference to get associated with this year. We've unofficially become the live and free video source for the KMAC with 4 of the teams in that conference contracting with us. So had a good time learning about some of these schools and these rivalries. Had not covered a ton of their action in my previous years doing sports broadcasting up here in North Central Ohio. So that's been fun to get acclimated with some of those different communities and learning about the rivalries down there.
Absolutely. There's some talented teams that come out of that conference as well. Centerburg routinely has a lot of good teams and a lot of sports. Danville, East Knox. I mean, there's some quality teams that you'll run into over there, whether it's football, basketball. Not a lot of soccer, but that's all right.
Nope, you're right.
Maybe someday, maybe get some KMAC soccer action, but
it's growing sport. Double screen opens up Shelby Grover. Boy, did they need that one, but the long rebound comes out to Jamie. Short corner, Jay. That one short too. And position inside for Shelby. That's going to be an over-the-back call.
There's a lot of players with 4 fouls. We'll see who that one goes against.
It should be on Sophie Perti.
It's her 3rd.
And these are big free throws now for Shelby Grover. First one is clutch for the sophomore.
She struggled from the line early on, but I think she's made, 4 in a row now. So she's kind of found her rhythm at the line, knocking down the free throws.
And she's got just such beautiful touch on the ball. You see the nice spin and got it trimmed down to a 7-point cushion. And wow, that's going to help. Petit turns it over.
This game is not quite over yet. A couple bad turnovers for Central Christian here to kind of finish the game out, allow Lucas just kind of linger around. Still down 7, just under 90 seconds to play. Need a bucket here, though.
Clean look. Will it go for Sauter? Airballed it. But the defensive pressure for Lucas leads to a turnover and an easy one. Shelby Grover. 5-point game. And this again matches the shortest deficit here in the second half.
Well, this is the most efficient the press has been all game for Lucas. They've kept missing assignments and leaving players open, but they've figured out here in the final 2 minutes of the game, all of a sudden it's creating quite a few turnovers here. There they get burnt long just a little bit, but let's see how it plays out.
Comets with a quick trigger. Foul on the shot attempt. Nolan picks up the personal.
Sophie Petit headed to the line, who shot pretty well from the free throw line today. Knocks down. It's a 6-point lead, 57 seconds left here. See if she can extend it to 7 points.
Petit perfect at the foul line so far in this game and remains that way.
She's had a nice second half. I mean, made a lot of clutch plays, knocking down some big free throws there.
And those were 2 big points. Losing the handle, but right into the hands of Color. So now Shelby turns into a double team, has to kick it out. Pull up Jay comes up short. Offensive rebound secured by Nolan.
Lucas running out of time here, but trying to get the shot they want. Big bucket by Shelby Grover. 5-point lead again for the Comets.
And now their biggest enemy for the Cubs is that clock. Down to 20 seconds. Newsbaum nearly lost it. And then poked out a play by Jamie.
Grover hit that ball 3 times, I'm pretty sure. Just that pressure is just so tough to handle. I mean, she poked it away at the end, deflected it earlier, made her adjust her dribble before that. Just such a defensive presence by Jamie Grover.
They will need a still in a hurry, will the Cubs.
And they at least going to get a jump ball. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's going to be a Lucas ball. If that jump ball, Jamie Grover just reached in and grabbed it. Kind of reached around the arm, maybe through the arm, depending on what team you're following right now. Referee called a jump ball.
Yeah, I'd like to see Kylie be a little bit stronger with it. She thought the official was going to bail her out. Shelby turns inside and she gets fouled.
I think that's 5 on Mast.
So she can make it a 3-point game, a 1-possession game with 2 made free throws here.
Must have been 4 on Mast then. Looks like she's still staying in the game.
Grover starting to find her touch at the free throw line.
Absolutely. She's picked up a lot of points just knocking down free throws here. 23 points for Grover now. Timeout by the Cubs. Down 3 with 8 seconds left. What an interesting kind of final 2 minutes of this fourth quarter for the Lucas Cubs.
If only they had 5 Jamie Grovers to put on the floor. I'd really like their chances to force a turnover. Certainly whoever Shelby and Jamie are going to be defending here, you hope that they're involved in the play off the inbound so they can try to create a turnover, because Comets are at about, 30 giveaways here. 30 approximate. I mean, that's a lot of turnovers to still have the lead.
Jamie Grover probably has taken about half of those, I think, and created that for Lucas. If you're Central Christian, I think you just got to run her away from the ball. Whoever Jamie Grover is guarding, just run away, get away from the play, and just try and create some time and space for everybody else. Yeah. I think if you're Lucas, you're saying to Jamie Grover, you just go get the ball. Whoever they throw it to, just go get it, rip it away. We've seen her time and time today. Just rip the ball away, tie it up, do whatever you can. Now the possession arrow will go to the Comets next time, but she's strong enough she could probably pull it away as well. So it's going to be a fun final couple possessions here. We'll see how Central Christian's confident enough on the inbounds play. Lucas's press has been pretty difficult to break in the final 2 minutes here.
It's going to be the senior Sage to trigger. They're going to open up the deep ball. Jamie with the bump. It's going to send Nussbaum to the line. Double bonus time here.
Double bonus. No time off the clock, though. I mean, the contact was as soon as she caught the ball, so the referee's not going to check the clock or anything. Obviously, that's the right play, but just a difficult collision. That's what the Central Christian coach, Mitch Pertee, is checking as well. How did no amount of time check off that clock, but
just a little home cooking, you might say. 3 points here in the second half for Newsbaum, all 3 of them coming via the free throw. But that first one was big, of course, because now it makes it a 2-possession game, and the Cubs' chances now really dim.
See, it's the veteran play of Luke. Oh, she missed it.
And Newsbaum gets it. Timeout taken by the Comets. That should pretty much do it. Put the icing on the cake here for a Central Christian victory. And 60 points for them. It hasn't been pretty at times, Jesse, but they have done just enough. They have overcome their vast turnover problem with some good shooting. And, you know, the hot start that they got from Newsbaum hasn't translated here into the second half, but they've got other players like Mass to step up, and it looks like they did enough to get the victory.
Yeah, Emma Mass certainly, and then we saw Sophie Purdy knock down a lot of free throws there just to kind of keep control of that lead a little bit. Lucas kept chipping away, but when Central was going to that free throw line, they were able to step in, knock them down, and just keep the lead at 5, keep the lead at 7, and just kind of keep that advantage throughout the game, especially late in the fourth there. You can see the frustration on Jamie Grover there, and she also let Shelby Grover know that that's probably not the best play right there, is to let that ball slide into Central Christian's hands.
It's been 9 points here in the second half for Pertee, 11 for Mast.
Some conversation with the coach and the referee there. I think it's friendly. I think they're just clarifying something. Couldn't hear what the conversation was about, but
I think where the ball was being inbounded from. Comets, as they've done a lot tonight, give it away, but it doesn't cost them. 61-56. Kidron Central Christian comes on the road and comes up with a big Mid-Buckeye Conference win. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with final stats and an interview with our player of the game, so keep it locked in. We'll be back. Post-game coverage rolls along here on the OH Report.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. Get online with essential digital marketing services for local businesses. And feel like they do. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Stop in the Cub Cave Carryout in Lucas. Conveniently stocked with everything you need, and even a one-stop pet shop. Located on Ohio 39 in the heart of Lucas. Proudly supporting Cubs. I am now joined by our player of the game, Kylie Nussbaum, who dropped 22 points, 18 of those coming in the first half. Let's start there. Tell me about the solid shooting performance for you, particularly in the second quarter, and what do you think that did for your team mentally, emotionally, getting that big lead?
Well, I definitely think that my teammates did a good job of making sure I got open so that I could do what I do best, which is shoot three-pointers.
This is a team in the Comets that you haven't been a great scoring team on the season. You come out here, put up 60-plus, despite having 30 turnovers. Where do you think that came from?
We have a lot of drive to win, and we have a lot of determination, and nobody quit in this game. Even though we had an injured player, she came back in, and that's something I really appreciate about this team.
How satisfying is it to come on the road against a team like Lucas and have a victorious performance?
I mean, we haven't won here in 6 years, so it feels very good to come all the way, the long, boring drive, and then get a win like this. It's very, we get our reward for what we worked for.
So how do you think you take the next step and continue to build on this victory here today moving forward?
I definitely think practice is going to be intense so that we keep up the good work that we've been doing, and we're just going to keep pushing forward.
All right, congratulations, our player of the game, Kylie Nussbaum. Big victory here on the road. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
All right, we are now going to welcome in the head coach of the victorious Central Christian Comets, that being Mitch Pertee. Coach, it wasn't pretty for you ladies at times today. I think I tracked you for 30-plus turnovers, but you shot it well. What's your big overall takeaway for how you were able to be successful and get the dub?
Well, I think what I would pin it on is just resiliency. We had some foul trouble early. We had 3 girls with 4 fouls, and we switched up to a zone, which was to kind of protect them, right? And so they just fought through that. We had a girl, one of our seniors, captains, get injured, to fight through that, and then free throws. We made a lot of free throws down the stretch that were key, and in a 5-point game, that can be a huge swing, free throws. So very proud of the girls. Lucas is a good team. We knew it was going to be a dogfight, and I think it's been 6 years since we won here, so it's good to come out with a victory.
Kylie definitely got the party started, dropping the 18 first-half points, but then in the second half, she didn't have to do much. I think just had 4 points, all those coming at the free throw line. Some other players stepped up. What can you say about the play of Sophie and Emma Mast, really taking it to the next level and helping keep the lead?
Emma, I'm very proud of her. The last couple games, she struggled a little bit, and I challenged her this week, via text message that she needed to make sure that she remembered the energy that she brought to our team, and I feel like she did that. And she played great. Sophie, this was her 4th double-double, I believe, in a row, and that's what she brings to our team. She kind of made a decision a couple weeks ago that she wanted to be a better rebounder, and since that decision, she's had double-digit rebounds 4 games in a row. So it's fun to see, and being my daughter, that also makes it pretty cool. So yeah,
definitely have a lot to smile about on what Kylie said is going to be a long, boring bus trip back, but at least it's a victorious one, so congratulations, Coach.
Thank you very much. Yep.
All right, now we're going to send it up to Jesse Ryder, who is standing by with our intern KP Peace, who's been tracking stats. Let's take a look at those final numbers.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. Here you get to see kind of some of the key stats. I think what sticks out is turnovers. Obviously, Central Christian had 31 turnovers, but still came away with 61 points, which tells me they shot the ball incredibly well today. To have 31 turnovers and still have 61 points, that is really an impressive feat there. For Lucas, they ended up making 13 free throws. They picked it up a little bit, but that was tough to overcome. That kind of built into that first half deficit. They just could not buy a bucket from the free throw line. And then Central Christian maybe limited Lucas to just very few second chance opportunities. Just owned the boards tonight with a 31-22 advantage. Central Christian dominant in a lot of ways, with a 5-point lead to end the night. A lot of good basketball today. A lot of just different ways for Central Christian to score. So it was a fun afternoon of basketball.
We had talked at halftime about which complementary players were going to step up in the second half, and it ended up being the players that were wearing the blue jerseys here this afternoon. After the huge offensive output by Kylie Nussbaum in the first half, it was Sophie Pertee who stepped up along with Emma Mast. They were the big difference makers, and I would say 2 of the biggest reasons why they were able to be victorious here in this game.
Yeah, for Emma Mast, she made the shots she was supposed to make. She made the jump shots. She made the easy layups. She made those shots, and that was huge for the Comets. And for Sophie Pertee, clutch free throws down the line. Just kept the lead for Central Christian. She was calm, cool, and collected at the line. Just consistently stepped up and knocked down free throws to keep Central Christian in the lead over Lucas.
So the Cubs defeated here at home as Kidron splits the season series with a 61-56 victory over Lucas inside of the Cubs Cave. That is going to wrap up our afternoon coverage here between Lucas and Kidron Central Christian. Would like to thank all of you out there for watching in Facebook and YouTube land, and also give a shout out to our amazing crew bringing you today's coverage live and free. Jory Hollenbeck was running camera for us today. KP Peace was tracking the stats. Adam Thompson, our amazing director. My name is Brian Skoronsky. Jesse Ryder on the call with me. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you on a live stream coming up tonight. Still 2 more on the way. Live and free on the OH Report. Stay locked in.